Hello, hello, people of the interwebs. We are live and alive. Let's see, what are we doing today? I think, we're good on, most of the patch stuff. I think we're good. I need to do some play testing, but, I think it's working on more beta cards, although, potentially rather than working on more of the player cards, it might be for the best to actually work on some more old god cards so we can actually do to make sure all the deck building stuff works out, which means we do need to make some more cards for the old god, the our antagonist of the game, right? So, that said, we don't have any ideas for that yet. At least not written down. So I'm just looking at my notes here and seeing what they even say. Yeah, I don't think any of this is useful. Yeah, so we do need old god cards. Oh, I think someone decided to join us today. Whether she stays is going to be a good question, but there you go. Hi. You hang out with us? Look at cam. Anyway. Yeah, because I did some math. So currently, with the new rules, players draw 2 cards, play 2 cards, right? There's 2 different players, so they play about 4 cards per round, right? If a game goes for 9 rounds, which is a lot, usually it's like 5, but 9 rounds means, like, you know, this might be too big of a number. But that said, if the game is to go for 9 rounds, then there will be, it will cost, the number of cards they will play within those 9 rounds is 36 cards. Now, if we do that same math with the number of old god cards they use 3 cards per turn, or per round, whatever, right? There's 9 rounds, then they only use 27 cards. So, sorry, just got a message. But yeah. Yeah, so that's 27 old god cards, which means, and these are about, so 36 cards is literally half the deck right now, half the player deck. So it would also want to be half the old god deck, which means we need 54 cards, and we currently have 44 cards. That's not number of like total cards, that's copies included. So we really only need to make like, you know, maybe two lands, 2 monsters. Honestly, arguably it might be better just make a bunch of monsters, but, and then maybe some other stuff, but you know, maybe like 6 cards total. So yeah, so I think probably talking about ideas here. I want to see what ideas I've come up with in the past. Look at these. I think a lot of these I just need to erase if I've used them. And a lot of these are player cards. A lot of these just don't feel useful. Mostly because I've already used them. Is there anything here? Reveal top 3 cards of an Old God deck. The player may choose to discard one, play the remaining 2 cards. That's interesting. That could potentially be a spell, right? Or a curse, rather. I don't need this open anymore. I don't know if I really like it, but it is an idea that has been done before, or that we have thought of, so may as well organize our ideas. This might just make sense to do this, huh? Let's oh god. Just do this. There we go. 2 documents open at once. Huzzah. Although my screen real estate is getting a little cluttered, but it's okay. It's worth it. We got a little kitten here. No. Did the turtle. Kills card on death. No, it's not even. I guess I have specific stuff here. Cute Luna, or Luna cute, very true. Multitasking, cool. Indeed. What up, Chax? How you living? Let's you play. I'm trying to decide on some stuff here. Let's see. Yo, what up? Land that draws cards right away. I did technically have one like that. So I'll have to maybe, I mean, technically I do have one that draws a card right away. I feel like having enemy lands that have like more passive effects might be interesting. I should just I still don't call these the right things. Wasteland. One day I will. But when you change the name of things, it's hard to get used to it. I hate how it removes this. There we go. We want something like, or more passives, or more base effects. What else we got? Large number of minions spawn to transform into a card. That actually we have done. That is one of the gods. That is done. At the end of the turn, Old God chooses a card controlled be put back for the players. Yeah, okay, that's that. Meh. Don't have like a lot of scary old god stuff. I guess what is maybe the thing to do rather than just trying to randomly come up with stuff, maybe the idea or the best thing to do here is try and look at what gaps we have and fill those, right? Do you want more monsters or others? Yeah, so like any of the old god stuff. So I did some math, and we technically need like 10 more cards total. So that does include copies of cards, and there's like 2 copies of each monster. So it could be, honestly, I'm not really particular as to what it should be. There at least should probably be one of each card, but even then, that's only what, 1, 2, 3, 4 types of cards. So yeah, I don't know, like a variety really is the goal. I think probably have something like Blightmite, except attacks strongest land, I think would probably be good. I don't know if it needs something past that, like an interesting effect, but I think that could be interesting. Yeah, I don't need this open anymore. So yeah, something attacks strongest land. Would be good. And we have a good variety. Usually the middle order doesn't really matter, arguably. I think probably having something that makes 2 attacks and attacks both the strongest and weakest would be kind of interesting. Maybe siege type minion attacks structures. Yeah, so I was thinking about potentially having different minion types, but I don't think that's monster. Okay, good. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think minions is quite yet. It's gonna be. I do want to have different types of minions, but I don't think that's gonna be a now thing. But yeah. We have 2 that attack structures. I think a 3rd would probably be good. I don't know exactly what that would be like, but or how to differentiate that with you know, from other ones, but could be interesting. We could definitely I think they're probably gonna need more like interesting effects, right? Interesting base effects. It's kind of weird because I don't actually have like a ton of ideas for this. It's a little like, actually I did have one. I do want one that We made, where is it? Ravager, it mimics the attack order of the previous card. If there's no previous card, it follows its own attack order. That one's interesting, but I think there's something I had. Oh, yeah. The old Abyssal Horde card. That's what I was thinking. It used to also attack AoE attack, maybe. Yeah, I was thinking that. The problem with AoE attack is it could, like, destroy... Yeah, unsure what that looks like. Yeah, the problem with, like, an AoE, if you're, like, attacks all heroes, right? That could be interesting, but that could also kill, you know, like, 6 cards at once if every one of them's left at 1. And that's a little much. It could be like something like attacks every card for 1 above, you know, or attacks every card for whatever that is above X number of units, right? So like if the card is above 5 units, it attacks for its power level. That's like a pretty scary one. I mean, if it's weaker, it's fine. We probably need more monsters with higher power levels as well. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, some scarier ones might be interesting. But yeah, some sort of AoE might be interesting. Like attacks multiple, rather. So either like hits 1 class of card, hits cards with X or more number of units. Or, I mean, potentially, like, hits a entire stack of cards, right? Like, hits hero, hits a stack of cards, hero, and land, / land, structure, and... I guess, like, you know, all cards in a vertical line is probably the better way to say that. Let's see what you said. What if high attack level card that forces you to attack it every round, but it's like 5 to 8 attack? Old God Taunt. That could be interesting. That could kill a lot of your cards, though. I'm not, like, obviously that's fine, right? Like, that's... I'm trying to think that through. Because we kind of have a taunt card, except just it's just like an attack in general. The Chaos Keep. I feel like I'd almost just rather change the Chaos Keep to that, because right now it just forces you to attack in general rather than attack it specifically. But I would be worried that early game, if you got something like that that has a high attack that you were forced to attack, means you could just end up killing all your guys, just, you know, like, but could work. I'm trying to think that through. I'll write it down, but It might just, All right, forgot about it, true. Yeah, I'm just trying to think that through. It could be fine too, but yeah, I mean, getting it early could be scary. What else could there be? All right, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So yeah, the old Abyssal Horde, when it attacked, all minions attacked what it attacked. I do like that idea, but it didn't work with what it was existing because it had 3 attacks. It would have to be like a 1 power level thing. Or strength now as we call it. Strength, I spelled it wrong. 1 strength card, all minion attack what it attacked until dead. I think that is a cool one because it can like focus down a card, which is kind of interesting. And now there's like more space for it. I don't know what this would be called, like a I don't know. That could definitely be something though. Like an abyssal commander or something. Although again, I don't know if I want to use like the same words too often with a lot of this stuff, but eventually you run out of words that sound like chaos. So I feel like we could do a lot of interesting things with ruins as well, though. Like just try to force, rather than like a direct like attacks, you could just try to alter the way people are playing the game. Would be an interesting way to do it. I mean, it's kind of what they do, but like, I'm trying to think of a good example of how to do that. Like it could be, I don't know. Not necessarily like win conditions, but it could be interesting to like maybe have like a card draw nerf. Yeah, that could be decent. Yeah, I mean that doesn't exist yet. Like card draw, decrease, card, I don't know if I want to do card play decrease. I feel like that's just like too brutal. Yeah. I just had like a really kind of crazy idea where it could be like it, force discard a card. We have a few things like that, but not like a consecutive thing that does that. Like there's, yeah, Stupefy, which makes players discard a card, and then I think I wanted to say something else did it too, but I guess there's some spell costs that make you discard cards and stuff like that, but... yeah. That could be interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's the... yeah, both of those could be pretty good. But yeah, I thought it was something interesting. If you had it so, like, an old god thing had a cost, like, once it reaches X number of minions, it consumes those minions and does some, like, terrible effect. I feel like that could be a kind of cool thing. Like, I mean, I do, so we do have, like, an old god that technically functions that way, right? Umbra. Whenever there's 3 minions on the board, they're removed and replaced by an old god card. Helps with action economy still being scary. Yeah, so there's a few things that I did to, like, remedy that. I actually did put... I fixed Bridge for the 1000th time, so now unit effects can actually apply to themselves again. So I unnerfed Elvish Archer. So that does help. And then yeah, I officially... well, yeah, it's... so, well, I think we finally come up with a way to, I can't even say anything. I was gonna say I finally fixed Bridge, but it's constantly a pain in my ass. I don't know if unnerfing it's the right move necessarily, because it is very strong, but yeah, and then, I officially made it so you can play 2 heroes. Like, it's not, you can play 1 of each card. So I think action economy is fine. But yeah, I do like the idea of things consuming minions. The only problem is if I keep this god that it consumes minions if there are 3 of them. Oh, I also nerfed Chaos Worm. That was the other thing I did. Although I didn't nerf it too much. Dropped it to, I think, 3 instead of 2, or 3 instead of 4. Yeah. Just plays 3 instead of 4. It might have to go to 2, but we'll see. But even, I guess, if it consumes 1 to 2 minions, like, per turn, and then doesn't affect, that could be interesting, right? So that could be a cool way to manage that sort of stuff. I don't know if I necessarily want to draw any of these cards today. I'm kind of just trying to get an idea. I might pick one of the ones one of the player cards to draw. I said it's gonna be a quick stream, but I honestly not entirely certain. It's definitely an early stream, and that's why I kind of did it early, because I wasn't sure. Explosive minions. Syndra toss minions at lands for damage and lands, but consumes minions. Yeah, exactly. That kind of dealio. I mean, that could be an interesting monster move, right? Like a monster could need minions on the board. It consumes a minion and does like a powerful attack. Otherwise, it does just normal whatever. That's actually a really interesting idea, just using minions as a resource for the old god. I kind of like that a lot. the more I think about it. But yeah, I think that could be cool. But it has to be worth like the thing losing a minion too, right? Like even like the making like an AoE attack that hits every card, like not every card, but you know, one class of cards or something like that. That is a cool reason. Like it'd be a, like, you know, it attacks an individual card, but if it has a minion on the board, it will consume that minion and then attack with that. But yeah, I like that idea a lot. What else? I just figured I'd get my brain flowing about that in general, because I've just kind of been putting it off, thinking about any sort of old god cards. I've kind of just been thinking strictly about player cards, honestly. Because we got a bunch of player card ideas, but so yeah, I'll have to think about that. I guess the thing is, I can, although, you know, now I'm thinking about it, I could literally just draw card art and throw it in there and not really worry too much about its effect. Just have like a theming of it, right? Like I could make, well, maybe a monster that is additively stronger per minion on the board, like starts with 2 attack, but +1 per minion per play. Scary late, not so much early. Yeah, using minions to scale things is interesting, right? Yeah. Now, it's interesting to think about that, too. It's like, that would be cool, but it is anti-synergy with ones that would consume minions. So I don't know if that, like, plays more into luck, or if that's, like, how we feel about that, right? I guess the enemy can technically deck build in a specific way there as well. It's a little bit of luck of the draw. It's like, oh, if it has this thing and then it's also gaining power level with each minion on the board, that's scary. But then if it draws something that consumes minions, you're like, well, maybe it's not so bad, you know? I do like that idea, though. I think for now, I just kind of want to hone in on one of these ideas and then draw something. And worry about the exact specifics later. So kind of try to figure out the thematics of it, right? I think it could be a good way to do it. Because that way, like I said, so let's do the math here real quick. So I need 10 cards. both Monsters and Wastelands have 2 copies, but the rest have 1 copy, with the exception of World Ender, which there's only 1 copy of. So let's say I did, 2 monsters, which would be 4 copies total. We could do, I don't really know if I want 4 more lands in the deck. Let's see what the proportions are. There's 12 lands, 17 monsters, 8 ruins, 7 spells. The numbers are kind of all over the place. It might make sense to like even stuff out a little bit, but like maybe make 1 more curse to make it 8, make ruins like 10. So like 2 ruins, 1 spell, 2 ruins, 1 curse rather. So that's only 3 cards though. I'm just trying to think this through. What, 4 monsters? 4 lands? That puts us 1 too many, right? Yeah. Yeah, the problem is World Ender. It might be cool to have, like... I mean, there could be, like, a really scary, like, the fact that there's only 1 copy of World Ender just makes it a little bit odd proportions, unless I guess I could add, like, an additional ruins or something to kind of counteract that, or have, like, a really scary wasteland that only has 1 copy of it, something like that. But I also don't really want that, necessarily. That is a squeaky bus, I'll tell you what. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I only need 10 cards. So I'd say something like 3 monsters, like 2 unique cards. Although, honestly, I feel like more monsters might be more interesting, but I don't know. And obviously, like, end goal, I'll have more of all of these, but for starters, to get everything sort of aligned, I think this is the way to go. I like the idea of the, like, stacking mechanic with minions. But I also like the idea of consuming minions. I'm trying to decide which one to go with. I feel like consuming them might be better just because of the whole action economy thing. And because of Oblivion also removing minions. I mean, both are cool though. I like both. I don't know. I don't know if I should try to like just make one of these agree. Yeah. Tax strongest land, tax. Oh, I'm a minute. I'm in a minute behind. No, you're good. Yeah, it's kind of weird that you can like be watching not live. Yeah, I'm trying to decide what to pick. I kind of want to just, like I said, because I don't have a ton of time. I want to. Yeah, the consume thing is cool. I think maybe we just do something with that for now. But what to couple that with? I think honestly the AoE attack thing is a good thing to couple that with, of some sort, right? Either it can like hit all heroes, which is like pretty scary. I feel like that might be too much, but I'm not entirely certain. Hit unit with all cards with X number of units on it. That is interesting. It might be weird with just consuming a minion though, because then it would be like, if there is a card with X number of units, consume a minion and attack that card. If that card, or yeah, that just gets kind of confusing. There's too many like variables, I feel like. So maybe just hitting a line of cards, right? Like attack a hero and then all heroes behind that, or any structure or land behind that hero also gets hit for that much damage. But that's also like, if that's like a high attack damage, that's going to be insane. That's going to be real scary. Granted, if heroes aren't behind that, that is interesting. Like, because heroes can be anywhere on a stack, and they don't have to be... Like, heroes can be anywhere in a line, right? Whereas, like, a structure and a land have to be here. Which then makes, like, weird metagaming where you have to, like... You might put, like, extra units on one of these cards so it doesn't take out an entire line of things. So I don't know. I don't know if that gets, like, too weirdly, like, metagaming, but I guess that's kind of, like, the point of the game is, like, putting your units where you need to put them. But my worry is that it can't have too much. It couldn't be too high of an attack power if it has a special effect like that. I think it probably has to have a low power, like 2 or 3 at max. Which is why, like, attacking a class of cards might be better, but even then, that still feels like... Yeah, probably no more than 3, probably 2. Yeah, that's the weird thing about this game, is that losing one unit isn't bad at all, but losing one card is huge, right? So that's a really interesting part about it. Like the value of losing a unit is much less than losing a card, and monsters can just do either, right? Depending on how lucky you are. It might just have to be hits the structure behind the hero, but I feel like that might not work as well. Or, I mean, maybe it could be attacking just structures in general. I don't know. I don't know why I opened Discord there. I'm gonna hide this over here. There we go. Consumes X number of units. I guess thinking it over though, like it is removing a minion, which is an action economy. And maybe this is just like the one that could just be a single individual. Well, it can also attack strongest, right? Like if it attacks strongest, oh, I don't know. Let me think this through for a second. Let me write out the card, I guess. Maybe a burn effect, maybe no initial damage, but multi-turn dot, cards behind it. I'm kind of against having to track things, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't really like, I want as little tracking as possible, unfortunately. For like a video game, that would be cool, but I really don't like the if I can avoid it, I try not to. Oh, speaking of video games though, I want to show you something that's kind of fun. Totally fair, yeah. It's kind of like part of the design philosophy is just no effect tracking. Do. That's the wrong song, but it may as well be the song. Do. That's the song. That is. There it is. I was trying to do like a deck building function, and any hot grills. Trying to do a deck building function, and I thought it'd be cool to make a combine decks button, and you just press the button and it combines. It shuffles all the decks and rebuilds them into a built deck of the correct proportions of cards. I wonder what happens if I hit it again. Should it be all the rest of the cards? Yeah. So that's interesting. I decided to play around with the scripting. Yeah. It's mostly just me asking ChatGPT to do it for me, but it's kind of cool. Because, yeah, basically I want to do deck building, but it's going to be specific proportions of cards, but I don't want you to necessarily have to be like, oh, I got to build a deck every time I want to play the game, so I thought it'd be interesting if you just did a random assortment of the correct proportions of cards. So that's a custom button type thing. Yeah. Basically just asked ChatGPT to do the script for me. And then, you know, it spat out this. Doesn't work perfectly because I wanted to have it like spit it out into one single deck, but instead for some reason it combines it into like 4. But I mean, it works enough. And I think it, yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, it's combines 2 of the decks, but the rest of them are just like on top of each other. It's probably some like weird order of operations thing, but I would have to like actually do research and understand how to read the script, which I mean, like, it logically makes sense as I go through it, but yeah, it's Lua, so I don't know any Lua. Yeah, I thought that was cool. Just fun. It was like one of those things where I was like trying to be productive, but I was procrastinating, but at least it's productive procrastination, sort of. Offline, I can maybe help. Honestly, it's cool. I need to learn coding anyway. Obviously, Lua isn't what I'm going to be learning, but the only Lua I know is from Minecraft mod. That's funny. But yeah, they have scripting, which is kind of cool. Okay, it's Tack's strongest hero, and then it would be hero, and then it would probably have a power level or a strength of 2. I mean, it could be like an overflow damage, could be kind of interesting. Where it consumes something and it hits it, and if it dies, it hits the thing behind it. It's not too different from Python, so it could probably be worth learning. Scripting can be used a lot, possibly even in video games. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I wanted to learn like how to do stuff for OBS, and I know they use Python. I think you use Python and Lua, so it might be worth learning anyway. So yeah, overflow. Yeah, I think that would be maybe the way to do it. Like, it consumes a minion. If there's a minion on the board, it consumes it. It deals X extra damage. There is a minion in play. Consume that minion and deal 5x and deal 5 extra damage. It might get kind of wordy. That's my only worry. Like, explaining overflow is a little bit much. So we're kind of restricted to maybe 4 lines of text max. Can I? I just want to copy this. This seems weird because I'm just going to copy it in here and then paste it. Oh, that doesn't quite work, does it? Oh, wait. No, it does. Well, I don't know why the box sizes gets really annoying. Although I kind of wanted to delete everything. I know it sounds silly, but the formatting was incorrect before. Okay. Beta sheet updated. I want to see how much text I can reasonably fit on one of these. Attack strongest hero. So that's just the base thing. I'm just curious as to if this would actually work. If there's a minion play, consume that minion and deal 5 extra damage. If the attack kills the hero, damage will hit the structure the hero is on. Yeah, like the problem is the terminology doesn't totally... It doesn't exist yet. That's the problem. Well, I guess it kind of does, right? Like, what does it say for, like, forest? If this land has a structure placed on it. If the attack kills the hero, damage the remainder of damage will hit the structure it is on top of. I mean, that sort of works. I can probably shore up the wording later and just make a card, but... I hate when formatting gets all messed up. I guess I'll select all. We want it center aligned and we want to wrap. There we go. It will attack strongest, then hero, then structure, then land. That's card draw stuff, doesn't matter. Probably would have a positive effect, maybe, or a negative. I don't know. It's hard to say. Bleep bloop. See what it looks like. We want the beta document. Before we even do that, let's check here. Yeah, that works. Edit. Refresh CSV. Okay, that's fine. Super broken. I think that's because the icon index is broken on that side. So in theory, I can just go in here and replace the icon index. And then that in theory should fix it. Am I using a different card? No, hold on. Yeah, it's doing some weird stuff here. Card nickname, power level. Oh, you know what? We're probably also... This is probably... also not working. Let's try that. Yeah, I don't care that it doesn't have that anymore. Don't know if this is too much work to actually even do. I might end up just drawing something for a bit. I've been doing this for an hour. I think I just want to draw something and maybe call it a day. Don't know why this isn't working though. Slightly bothersome. Okay, let's refresh it one more time, just in case. Card nickname. Okay. It's like this is using an old layout. I don't want to edit layout. I want to use... Maybe it is. Maybe it's like broken on. How do you change component layout? This one. Now refresh. That's so confusing. Slot, attack rule, blah blah blah, strength card, nova, it's named the right thing. You know what? No, it is using the right CSV. Because this is worded right. Let's just replace everything here. This might be wrong. Header. Which I think this is the only one that wouldn't be wrong, but we'll do it anyway. Did the icon index. Do the effect index. Nope, hold up. Just in case. Let's not overwrite stuff that we don't want to overwrite. There's no way this changed, but again. Actually, it did change slightly, technically. Okay. Let's see if that fixed it for some reason. It did. Sort of? Yeah. I don't know what was broken, to be honest, but now it's fixed. Needs a strength too. It is a monster. Let's try that again. There we go. Preview the card. Yeah, I mean, I guess that technically works. It's kind of sloppy. I think I'm gonna hold off on that, but I think I'm probably just gonna do a player card for now. And when I have more time, I'll do this, but I think it's probably too much for one thing. I feel like if it consumes a minion, it probably should just deal more damage. Or something along those lines. I'm trying to think that through. But I like the concept. The concept is there. Give me half a second. Okay. Yeah, I mean, because like I could say overflow, but like overflow doesn't mean anything without explaining it. And I don't know if I want to be like a mechanic that I have to, you know, have reference to, right? Let's be like Risk of Rain, have the meteor thing say overflow, even though it's never a term that's referenced anywhere else. I think for now, I'm just gonna pick one of these things and make it. I kind of really want to make the Witch's Hut because I think it sounds cool. Generates units triggered. Generates units generated by triggered effects now can be placed on your cards. Triggered effects. Triggered effect, any of your destroyed unit or cards units can be allocated to another card. Or to this card, rather. Sorry. Seems pretty strong. I'm gonna draw that. I think I want to go with like the swamp aesthetic, so let's just draw that for now, and then we will we'll do some other stuff later. We'll do more of the monster design later when I can be fully focused on it. Okay, but for now, let's draw a witch's hut. What's I have to say? It's my official statement. You can quote me on that. I do want to pull up. This kind of feels cool because it's like, kind of feels like the whole swamp aesthetic. Lands, I want to pull up the swamp, and I also need the, what's it called? The card template thing. This guy. There we go. Okay, let's just start with a base color. I kind of like this color. Let's sketch something in there. Hello, tablet? There we go. Sort of, kind of. Okay, we're good. We good. Sorry, one more half a second break here. Okay. Sorry. I'm back. I'm alive. A witch's hut. I mean, just sketch, right? One of the things I've noticed about sketching is it's good to just get sketchy right away, if that makes sense. Because if you get too precise with your lines, then you overthink it. And you feel like your lines have to be perfect. But you may as well make it look bad on purpose, so you're not afraid to just draw. I'm drawing on the background layer. Speaking of being afraid to do things. It's fine. I didn't love it anyway. Sure. Content aware fill me. I wonder if that did weird. No, it didn't. Okay. First of all, unlock the background layer. Second of all, let's sketch. There we go. Got it. Okay. I'm trying to see like what the common aesthetic for a witch's hut is in like these references here. I feel like it's like it's taller than it is wide kind of thing. And also, like, you get that sort of cartoony look where, like, the house is kind of bowing. So it's not like an actual cube like a house would be. I got that sort of look to it. Which is something I kind of did with my last drawing, the arcane wall thing. Which I thought turned out pretty well. Why can't I see? Is caps locks on? Yeah. Sort of like this. I think I'm gonna make it smaller if I'm gonna go like this, but I kind of like that sort of curvy architecture, you know? I think it's farther away. And then it would need like a porch, I feel. I don't know if it should be like, because there's like some stuff here that's like very, like the swamp sort of aesthetic, like it's on, actually I kind of like that, where it's on like a thing above water. You have like a planks and stuff to get to it. Maybe a tree. And I really like that like hanging moss stuff that they have in Florida. Or like a weeping willow kind of look. You have that like hanging down from everything. A good like I think example of what I'm going for is like that sort of like bog look from what's that game? God, what's the game called? Hunt Showdown? Something kind of like that would be cool. I don't know, I'm drawing at this point. I'm just making lines. All right, hold up. I think the problem is it's the wrong perspective here. I like how it was looking, but it's not quite right. It needs to kind of be more like this, forward camera. But it also needs a porch first. How do porch do, you know? I guess part of it is this should be like an overhang, right? I don't know why I'm drawing a door like a window, but you know, sometimes you just do things. You know, sometimes I wonder when windows were invented. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm drawing a window, and I'm like, would they even have glass like in medieval times? But at the same time, I don't know, you know? I just don't. Just ignorant. And this would be on like some platform. Those come together fast, so that's fun. Let me check my phone again. Got stuff going on, so gotta be checking it. There we go. Yeah, I'm kind of imagining like we have this sort of, I think this is, I mean, basically what it's gonna look like, right? Oh yeah, it's food time, kitten. You hear your food thing going off? Kind of not sure how I feel about the auto feeder. Like, it's nice, but it also feels like less personal. Anyway, what was I saying? I have no idea anymore. Oh yeah, I kind of like the idea, like these colors, and then just like a nice orange yellow glow coming from the windows. I think that's gonna look nice. There's too many trees. I feel like they need to be more sparse, but end up being, I don't know, let me look up a bog. Or just kind of look at my references here. I guess it gets kind of foggy, but I think having the trees be more contorted and weird is the way to go. Because it is a swamp, and that is how swamps are to do. All right, I think I'm trying to decide if I want to do a second sketch or if I just go right into my final art. I think I'm just gonna go right into the final art. By final art, I mean final line art. Because who needs a secondary sketch, am I right? Maybe I should have done a refined sketch. I don't know. We'll see. Worst case, this becomes the refined sketch. I suppose. Yeah, I have to do a second sketch. I don't know what I'm looking at here. Yeah, it's one of those things you need to get more okay with is multiple sketches. And that just helps with being okay with destroying your work. I don't think I like this triangle thing, whatever this is. I guess the point of it was like a normal roof would look like that, right? It's fine. Okay. It's crazy how like flooded Google Images is with just AI art at this point. So I'm like looking at references and like they're all AI. It doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to get ideas. Like I'm not trying to look at like, I don't know, actual inspiration, but it is a little sad. Because like more than 50% of this stuff is AI. But that is how the cookie crumbles sometimes. All right. Trying to decide like if I really want to design my like card art to have to like if I really want to actually spend the time to draw the entire card rather than just what's within the bounds of something you would see. But here we are. We'll suggest detail here, and I'll probably add more in later, like broken planks and stuff. This will have planks. And this will be like shingles, maybe. Doesn't really make sense because it's like cylindrical, but you know what, whatever. Maybe like should be thatched instead, I don't know. It's like kind of cylindrical, it's kind of not, I don't know. The intention originally was for it to be cylindrical, but I want to look up hanging moss is what I want to look at. Hanging moss. Yeah, like this stuff from Florida. Look at this stuff. Just like, it's really cool. They make it look pretty here, but it always has like bugs and like insects and other gross things in it. I feel like it's kind of hard to draw though. You want like a post. I think that's kind of interesting. Foreground element there. Probably more posts over here too. Like it'd make more sense for stuff to be made out of logs than it would be actual like planks, but you know. Sometimes I forget that with trees, it makes more sense to draw the branches and then figure out how the leaves would look on top of that than the other way around. you know? Like you draw the trunk. Again, we want this to be kind of curvy. And then you draw the branches. And it's easier to draw the canopy over it and have it make actual sense. Wow, who'd have thought, you know? It's just all marshy down here. I draw a few lily pads. Yeah, that feels fun. Doom doom, boom boom boom. All right, I'm gonna grab a snack, hit the bathroom, refresh my water, then maybe do line art on this and get it colored and call it a day. Which is still gonna take like an hour probably, but I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, took me a second. Had to refill the cat's water. A few extra things didn't plan on doing. All right. Okay, let's actually do this as a this will be the line art for real this time. One thing that I watched a tutorial video the other day, and one thing I didn't realize, and you can't, I don't know if you can see it right now, there's a fill and an opacity thing with different layers, and I didn't realize those actually did different things. I mean, it makes obvious sense that they do, but I need to play around with that. Because there's like certain layers that fill effects and certain layers it doesn't. Or certain blend modes, I guess it affects. I should be okay with these lines being kind of crooked because it's like supposed to be kind of decrepit. So I should be okay with that. Here we are. There we go. I want the bottom of the windowsill to be a bit larger. Yeah. Let me kind of have these little, I don't know what they are. Tiles, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. It's something. There's something on here. Sometimes you just gotta sing the song, even though it has no words, you know? Trying to play with line thickness here. Make that a thin line there. Cool. It's a difficult thing to do, but it looks good when you do it. And I don't do it enough, arguably. Excited to do the shading on this. It's probably my favorite part about drawing. Well, maybe it's my favorite because I feel like it's what I'm best at. But doing the shading always feels good. I feel like it'd be cool to like collaborate with someone and just shade their line art. I feel like that would be fun. You know, you gotta have like a bent pipe chimney coming out the top. It's a requirement. It's very like what's it called? Studio Ghibli. Yo, what up? How do you want me to pronounce your name? Because I'm still struggling. I'm very dyslexic, so like trying to do a word anonymous. I know it's like like anonymous, but it's like Adon. It's Aiden. Okay, cool. I like it. I just can't words. Aiden. Gotcha. Aideny. Anyway, how you doing today? Spelled Adon. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Adon. Yeah. Yeah, my brain doesn't know how to process words. But yeah, what's up? It's good, bro. How's the game? I'm like, who's the game? How's the game? Like, it's good. Just doing some more art currently. Everything's doing pretty well. I think I've figured out the proportions of number of cards I need, so like deck building can be a thing. So that's good. Oh, this looks weird. We're just gonna leave it as a little smokestack. I've done this like 20 times now. So yeah, no, it's going good. A lot of it right now is just gonna be adding a bunch of cards. Arguably though, I only need to really add 10. This isn't one of them, but I didn't have like a ton of time today. I have like more time than I dedicated to the like doing the stream, but I figured I would just get something I can done rather than like working on something that I'm unsure about. So sorry, give me half a second. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, cool. But yeah, how's your game going? I may be distracted every now and then, like I said, because I'm sort of I got stuff going on after this, but I wanted to stream anyway, even if it's not quite at my regular hours. Going okay, just gotta playtest more and do art. Yep. That same. Same. Very much same. Always gotta playtest. Yeah, I realize now you've been here for 2 streams now, right? I think I was thinking originally it was just last stream, but you were also here when I was doing the priest card as well, weren't you? Sometimes it's hard to remember things. But I think you were here when I was drawing that. Yeah, been here for a few. Yeah. Well, thanks for continuing to come back. Glad I haven't bored you yet. I should not be drawing these lines perfectly straight to kind of like sell that sort of like decrepit aesthetic, you know? It's like, when is the line the right level of crooked? Like, this roof is maybe like made of multiple materials, so it's kind of better to have it almost thatched looking. Also, it's ridiculously pointy, but you know, here we are. You'll never see the part that's above the other part of the card, so it's gonna be okay. Now let's do board texture. Actually, that might be drawn on afterward. I think the it'll look better if it's not solid black lines. Instead, it's like a colored line, if that makes sense. But yeah, what's your game like? What did I ask? I feel like I asked. Now I just don't remember. Did I ask? I can look back and see that. Maybe. Maybe I didn't. It's a PvP arena type game. Okay. Cool. Like 1v1. Is it also a card game? Build a hero, fight at 1v1, 2v2 type thing. Okay, cool. Very nice. And it's a card game, right? I take it? I think you said that it was a card game. I've got like some like other like video game dev people who come through here, and I talk to a lot of the video game dev people just in general. Card and tabletop. Yeah, okay, cool. I just want to make sure I wasn't misremembering things. Basically took things I like from games and stuck it in one. Yeah, honestly, I mean that's a way to do it. And certainly not a bad one. I mean, look at like Pal World, right? They just copied a bunch of stuff and they made millions of dollars. They also got sued, but you know, you win some, you lose some. But no, I think it's totally a good strategy for making games. You look at any game and they're just copying other ones. But like when you intertwine mechanics and stuff like that, that's when it gets interesting, right? Like, I mean, my game's basically like Magic mechanics, but then, you know, the rest of it is working around, you know, units and stuff like that, which kind of adds a unique thing. But that's just a resource management aspect from like, you know, any other resource management games. There just happens to only be one resource. So, yeah, you know what? Let's just do a background line art because this gets kind of messy. Like a distinct river line there, and then trees. But yeah, that seems cool. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I definitely want to do more different games. It's been fun trying to fit different rules and mechanics together. Yeah, that's like where it gets really interesting, right? I mean, and I've showed before, but I have like a giant sort of web for my other game I'm making. It's like a tabletop RPG, and that got really crazy with trying intertwine mechanics. I haven't finished it, and I kind of been taking a break from it, but yeah, that one got real crazy. But it is where a lot of the fun is. Sounds similar to what I'm doing now. Yeah, I have like yeah, it's a tabletop RPG deck builder was the concept. And I had a lot of mechanics in it, and I was trying to figure out how they all work together, and I broke it. This is kind of how it ended up. And I was like, okay, well, the more PvP focused. Very cool. Yeah. It's like, oh, well, the stats go into the core stats, and you have different dice, and then, you know, plays into different races and classes and abilities, and it got a little much. I still like a lot of these ideas, but I actually need to figure out what of these ideas work before I decide that they're all good for this system. But yeah. And I'm still trying to figure out like what systems work for this game, you know, the one I'm working on right here, but yeah. Yeah, it's actually the same path I'm on. There you go. Similar inspirations, probably. Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place with all my stuff, honestly, like inspiration-wise. Like, I'm inspired by a lot of video games, honestly. But that's kind of difficult because a lot of like tabletop RPGs are like, if you want it to be roleplay based, it gets really it gets weird, right? Because you have to tie in the mechanics and the roleplay elements, and that's where it gets like really tricky. Especially if you don't want things just be really generic. And I was really struggling with that, and I was working on this game, and this game was easier to work on, and I feel like it's going to be better like short term. And so I decided to focus on this one for now. Because the just too much. It's too much to do all at once. So balancing 2 games was too much. Don't do that. I would recommend. Well, I don't know. You can, but you can't do that and focus on YouTube and focus on. Eventually, you're not focusing on anything. You know. That's the problem. If you try to focus on everything, you're focusing on nothing. I'm just rambling at this point, but true. But yeah. But it is nice to have like different things to work on, you know, as a creative person. Like, it's good to have things you can bounce back and forth to. So it is actually sometimes like a benefit to have multiple projects, I guess, because it's really good for just your brain. It's good to be able to like, okay, I need to step back from this and work on something else for a minute, and then you do that, and then that helps you recalibrate your brain. Like for me lately, I've been just going in the garage and like working on some of my like woodworking projects and stuff like that, and that really helps clear my brain. The ADHD generation, they can't focus anymore. It's not so much that, honestly. It's more just like not even not being able to focus. It's hyper focusing can sometimes be detrimental to your creativity. At least I feel like if you just sit and like try to bang your head against a wall and get something to work, it just won't, right? So sometimes you just need to take a step back. Easy to burn out. Yeah, exactly. So like, it's good to just, you know, pick a few, like, you know, be able to have a diverse, like a bunch of different things to work on, right? And like this, like even working on a game, like I can step back from the game and work on the art, or I can step back from the mechanics and, you know, yeah, mechanics and work on the art, or I can, you know, if I really want to, I could work on lore or something, you know, so definitely helps prevent burnout. And, you know, if I'm sick of the game, I can work on the videos and that kind of thing. Although that does lead to, like, sitting at a computer a lot, so that's the only real detriment in this case. But so I just had to, like, get out of my my house and go into my garage and build some stuff, like the stuff you see behind you, little masks and stuff. I think I need, like, more branchiness, but I don't know. I don't know. This is fine. Still not, like, 100% sure on how to draw trees. I really need to work on a lot of fundamentals, honestly. I've got, like, some stuff that works, and, like, this style works really well for me because it's kind of built around like, it's okay if it looks kind of sketchy and stuff, because it's kind of made to look that way, right? But I do need to work on, like, actual fundamentals of stuff, I think. Reference to the best bet? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I probably should be looking at some references on swamp trees. Swamp trees. Funny thing is, like, the stuff in, like, fantasy and stuff a lot of time does not match exactly what the other stuff, like, fantasy and reality are two separate things. But they do have, like, these big old trunks and, you know, swamp tree. Swamp tree. Reference? Good, as they say. Let me do this, just so I can kind of get a better idea of what I'm actually working with here. I want, like, this color, and then like this. Oh wait, no, I did that wrong. Hold on. Did the inverse of what I want to. Control Shift E, Control Shift I. Then we fill. I was like, why does this look wrong? It still looks wrong. I pasted it on the wrong layer. You need to commit to a style like you have. Yeah, yeah, arguably this took like a long time to get to. There we go, that helps. Let's hide this. Yeah, this took a long time to get to. Like, I kind of simplified an existing style I had. This is originally from like a comic I was doing. And I chose it specifically because it was easy. You know, the sketchy sort of crayon style works really well to be, you know, if you make some mistakes, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it's a good call, honestly. Yeah. So yeah, it was specifically designed around the fact that it didn't need to look amazing. And like, I mean, you saw the people, I think. Yeah, you saw like the let's just pull up this way. This is the easiest way to do it. Yeah, like all the characters are like super simple. Right, like they're just little like stick people basically. Yeah. So that's like one of the things I like might have changed if this wasn't for like a game jam kind of thing. Like I had to do this really quickly. So but yeah, they're super simple. A lot of the other stuff is more complex than the people are. All the art on my dexterous and placeholders. Oh, it's for a jam. It was for a jam originally. Yeah. The it was what's it called? The homemade trading card game Discord community. They had like a jam, and then the theme was lands. And we did this, most of it, like a good majority of it was done in 2 weeks. And I've been like fine tuning it and balancing for 7 months, 8 months at this point. But yeah, and actually most of the art, with the exception of a few things until now, like all this is mostly done during the jam. So I had like 2 weeks to get it done. But I've like tweaked some stuff since then, but like the majority of this stuff was done in 2 weeks. I burnt out hard, but yeah. And honestly, like my newer stuff, I would arguably say it looks a lot better. Partly because I've gotten a lot of practice in, but also partly because of you know, time. And I've definitely gotten a lot better since then, just from having to do this a lot. Yeah, it was fun. I wasn't perfectly happy with everything that happened in the jam. Just the there were some things that we'll say I would have done differently if I were running the jam, but maybe I will someday. Maybe I'll run my own jam. I would love to do that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But as just like a learning experience, and like I'm happy with like the game that came out of it and that kind of stuff, it was great. Yeah, real like jungle trees seem to be more like sparsely leafed and like more spiky. I don't know how to like simplify that, you know? It's more like that kind of look. Let's try it, see what it looks like. This is also a fantasy world. Trees can look like whatever we want them to. That's the beauty of it. Spooky fantasy trees. Sure, why not? That will be the tree. But yeah, I didn't actually even know that they had that, like, card game jams existed until I found this one. I was like, oh, heck yeah. What's his name? Neither did I till just now. Yeah. I think there's two that I've heard of. One I learned, like, the homemade trading card game community, that one, and then I think there was one other guy on YouTube. I never actually checked it out because I was just busy working on other stuff, but yeah, there's one other one that I saw. So it's pretty cool. You know, there's plenty of them for video games, so I was like, oh wow, that's kind of awesome. It's like, I've been wanting to do game jams, but I don't know coding. This seems cool. Yeah, and they do it like seasonally, so if you do want to get into one, they do have that. It is a thing. I mean, again, I kind of wish they held the jam kind of in more of the format you would see for like a typical game jam. They just have like one winner and then they like rank it and then don't really have like categories and stuff, which I really kind of think is a missed opportunity to like let things shine besides just like mechanics and stuff. They only really stress the like mechanics aspect, and I feel like it'd be cool if they had more for like art and, you know, just multiple winners. Especially because it seems to be that they're like worried about people being upset that they lost, but I feel like a lot of that is fixed if you just have multiple categories. Yeah, it's supposed to be a fun time, right? Yeah. Or is one of those super serious jams. So here's the thing. It's supposed to be a fun thing, right? Like, it's supposed to be a fun, and like people are supposed to be, you know, it's supposed to be a learning experience, way to get your game out there and like, you know, get one done and that kind of thing. Unfortunately, we did ours, and you know, the game's kind of luck of the draw, right? Like it, and you know, without balancing, it's really hard. But I mean, there was some balancing, but we didn't have like time to get it like super balanced, right? So what happened was we submitted our game, the judges judged it, and one guy gave us some like constructive criticism. They lost like pretty hardcore. They got kind of a bunch of stuff drawn that was like really difficult to deal with as like a new player, especially if you're not like considering everything. And then one guy was like, yeah, here's this, I like this, blah blah. My friend asked, the friend I was doing the jam with asked like, oh, what was one thing you liked and what was one thing you disliked? And the the guy was like, oh, I didn't enjoy anything about this game. And that was just like his only answer. And I was like, okay, well, fine. That's but it would have been nice to have some sort of constructive feedback on a thing that is just meant specifically for feedback. Granted, I will give him credit because I did do a whole video on it, and he happened to see it. And he like apologized for not giving more feedback, but I don't know, it was interesting. But yeah, I have a whole video on it if you want to check it out. It's like my really long one. It's like 50 minutes. God, is it 50 minutes? It can't be 50 minutes. It's gonna be like 20 minutes. What am I talking about? Yeah, no, it's like 20 minutes. What am I talking about? You should look up for something positive in a limited time comp. Yeah, it was like, and we asked like, hey, can we get like, you know, one thing you liked and one thing you disliked, but might be the first thing I saw of yours, honestly. Okay, yeah, there you go. But yeah, it would have been nice to have gotten. I've yet to save this file. I keep doing this. Give me a second. Save as Nope. Structures. What am I calling this thing? Witch's Hut, right? Is that what I said? Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I don't blame him. Maybe he was having a weird day. I don't really, like, it's fine. The stuff I'm like more like annoyed with really, and like in the end, well, one, it was, you know, it's supposed to be a fun thing, so like it would have been good to like have just like some constructive feedback. I don't need a positive feedback. If the game sucked, like tell me it sucks and tell me why it sucks and like destroy me for it. That's fine, right? But getting no real feedback on a, you know, a game jam where you're supposed to be like learning things and that kind of thing, that's where it kind of like felt bad, right? Because like it felt like there should have been getting something out of it, whereas this kind of just felt like it's just like, yeah, no, it sucked. Okay, cool. Why? Like give me something from like anything, you know? That was more of my problem with it. Again, that said, I don't want to like keep like, you know, I'm not upset by it, so I don't want to like keep being like, oh yeah, this jam like wasn't great. It's like it was kind of luck of the draw of like what judges we got in a sense too, but yeah, I don't know. It was still good. It just, you know, it could have been better. The real problem, besides just like, you know, your random luck getting a judge who may or may not like it, that I think you're right. It may just be one of those days, no milk in a cereal type of thing. Yeah. So yeah, it was fine. It is what it is, and I am not upset about it. That said, my real problems with the jam itself is that there should have been more there's still a gap here. There should have been more more categories. Every judge should have judged the game. I understand that they couldn't all judge it. Like you don't have, like, they're volunteers and you don't have like infinite amount of time. But the fact that like only 2 judges judge it out of 6 judges or 8 judges seems a little bit weird. I'm sure if he could do it over, he would have said something differently. And he basically, you know, said that more or less. I don't know. I don't know the dude, right? I don't like thinking negatively either, so I agree with you. I'm not. He's you know, had a weird day, or you know, was hoping for something, a different experience or something, right? I don't know. And I don't like to dwell on that either. I'm more of someone who likes to think positively about things. So I don't like to dwell on that. Overall, it was fun. But yeah, I think they need different categories for stuff, and I think every judge needs to judge the thing. I understand that like not every judging can be public, but 2 judges to do the judging, and then all of them should get together and then like try the whole entire game. It was a little weird that you would have 2 separate judges judging something that would judge something else, and so your ratings could be drastically different depending on which judge got your game. Which I get it, if it's just for fun, that's fine. But, and like there's a lot of submissions, so getting together and playing every game is a lot for a community to do like that. But yeah, I don't know. Just my my thought on the subject. But yeah, if I ever get popular enough, I would love to do a game jam like that. It's still not hard to throw out a few mentions for best art or most ambitious or something. Yeah, well, they literally did that. Like they graded on a rubric. Like here, this is the like you get this much for art, you get this much for, you know, game mechanics, you get this much for like, you know, most easy to understand and that kind of thing. And then like they could have just graded those and then threw that in for like different categories and like best overall. And then, you know, it just seemed a little silly, but hopefully I'm not sounding like hurt about it, but it was just interesting to me. I don't know what I'm doing as far as shading here. I feel like I'm working with colors that I shouldn't be working with yet, and I should just be doing... Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me, I need to focus for half a second. Let me see. I need a, like, wood color. Okay. I'm redirecting. I should be doing wood and then coloring over it to kind of give it this swamp tone. So let's start like this. That's much better. Okay. Sorry, had to think there for a second. I was kind of just aimlessly drawing. But yeah, it would have been fun to have like some different different categories and stuff. And like the last one I wasn't part of, but it seemed like there was some drama there as well. But I don't know. All that said, still could be something I'd recommend if someone's, you know, wanting to just get into board game making and wanted to like just like, how do I break into this? I think that would be like a decent recommendation for that, you know. Still could be fun. So yeah. No regrets either, you know. I made a game that I'm happy with, and I want to continue to do stuff with it, so how can I complain, you know? I mean, I guess I am sort of complaining, but it's more of a criticism, not a yeah, I guess more of a criticism than a complaint. It's constructive criticism about the jam. I am not angry. just those are my thoughts about it. And something I think things I would mention if someone was like, yeah, I want to get into this. Is this cool? Should I do this? You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, interesting experience overall. Yeah. It's cool that it even exists. I mean, that was the coolest part about it, right? Is that they just had it in general. Something that existed. Like who knew card game jam? Who would have thunk? Yeah, pretty new to the whole homemade, the whole world of homemade trading games. So I might have joined it and lost. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got a pretty bad score, and I'm pretty new to this too. But I don't know. I've been making games my like whole life. Not that they were good or anything, but I said this last time, or I literally posted a short about this actually. That like pretty much any skill you do will correlate to anything else. So many art skills you have, or you know, I did a lot of like game maker games, and I did a lot of board games, and I've done a lot of different projects, and those helped me with this one. Even playing games, honestly, it's like, yeah, okay, if you pay enough attention, you can learn the balance of games and that kind of thing. So I'd like to think I'm doing a good job. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm working on something that's not fun, and you know, a few people find interesting, but I don't know. It's but even if you fail at something, it can be a learning experience, you know. Yeah, you can learn something, you can make some connections. It's all good. But yeah, I mean, it's still a community that might be worth joining if you're like, a lot of the people in there seem really cool. I haven't really done much of like talking to people on there. But yeah, there's a lot of cool people just in the community in general. So I might recommend that if you're just looking to not even do the game jam part, but just like talk with people, or look at other people's games, or get play testing done and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I started working on mine because it was the game I wanted to play, and that's totally a good reason, you know? Man, like if you watch like YouTube game dev stuff, that's what most people are doing. They're like, I made my dream game. And it's like a whole thing. I joined the HTCG Discord, but I am Discord dumbass, but good to see so many people on there. Yeah, it's actually really interesting. Yeah, I'm not great at Discord either. But yeah, it's very interesting because I feel like in the YouTube scene, like me doing my own game, like making my own game, doing YouTube videos on it and that kind of thing. I feel like there's not a lot of people doing that, but it seems like there's plenty of people making the game, right? Making a game rather. So it's really interesting to see like how many people are actually doing it. Versus like the whole YouTube thing. Maybe I just haven't found the right people. Maybe YouTube's like, I've got the wrong algorithm. I don't know. But as far as I found, there's like 2 people doing like a devlog style YouTube series like I am for a trading card game or an tabletop RPG, right? I haven't seen either of those. I mean, I was surprised about how many people are making an HTCG on YouTube. Okay, I mean, I'd be curious to see who those people are, because the 2 I know of, the 2 big ones, or the 2 ones I've heard of, right, is the guy making the Adventure Time Card Wars one, and then there's the guy doing like the card game from scratch one, where he's like starting the series from the beginning. Did like Chaos Galaxy, and then he doesn't have a name for the new one, but I can't remember his name. But he's the only other one I know of. And then there's like the other guy who does like Shard or something. I think that's the one he's working on. I haven't seen many of his videos though. Yeah, those ones I've seen. I haven't seen much more than that. I've seen a lot of people like talking about like, I've seen a lot of advice videos, right? Like, here's how you should make your own, your own cards, and this is how you should do it, and that kind of thing. But there's not. Yes, if you're talking about development more, yeah, okay, we're in agreement. Yeah, there's a lot of people like telling you the tricks of the trade, but not a lot of people being like, this is what I'm like, this is the process of what I'm doing, No, you're right, not many people doing the vlog type thing. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a reason for that, but I don't know. I'd hope to think people like appreciate it in some manner, or like there's a market for it, I would think. I mean, there's certainly one for video game development, right? There's a lot of people doing that. Not that it's necessarily always successful. There's not like a whole lot of successful ones, but I think it's the road I should go down if I want to generate interest in the game. I mean, I think it's a great like way to do it, right? Just getting like, how else are you gonna do it, right? you could you could advertise traditionally, but like, how are you gonna build a following if you don't have people looking at your stuff, right? Exactly. The one thing I think I've learned, and I think this next video is going to be the one that kind of really determines whether I fully agree with my own advice here, but I would, my videos that have performed the best talk about my game, but they also talk about some sort of broader category. And that's why I guess like those people with advice, like the advice people maybe are much bigger. Like we were talking about, like people who are just don't do the vlog style thing, right? Like, again, they're also on tabletop RPGs, so I'm not sure exactly about whether my my most popular videos are because of that or because of the format of them. But yeah, the ones that do the best are, you talk about a core principle of something, and then you happen to also talk about your game, right? And I think this is the same with video game development too. That would be my biggest recommendation if you decide to actually start doing that. Talk about, like, this is the struggle I have come across. This is what it's like in other games, and this is how I overcame it. I think that is the format that works for this kind of thing. And whether that's 100% sure or not, I'm not entirely certain, but yeah, I might just do it one day. No, today, do it right now. I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it's good to, I don't know why I'm detailing these boards. They're hidden behind, like, back of the card. No, I think, it's a good thing. And honestly, even just, like, categorizing your, or, like, logging your process, even if it's just for yourself, is really nice, because then you can look back and be like, what did I even do here? Oh, right, I did this and that and this and that. Just do it. Yes. As the great prophet Shia LaBeouf once said, just do it. Maybe this is more of the color I should be going for. And I'm probably gonna put like a filter layer over this entire thing, so I don't know if it totally matters, but yeah, I don't know. I think like one of the things that bothers me is like, there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, I quit my job and I did this thing, but I wouldn't recommend anyone else do it, because you should do it the safe way. You know, there's a lot of people who do that. That really bothers me. Obviously it's not always, feasible for everyone, right? But I really do. It bothers me so much. It's like, you literally did it the way, like, you quit your job and did the thing, and now you're like successful at it, and you never like, none of these people ever recommend that you do it that way. And that, for some reason, that really bothers me. It's like every time. Yeah. There's people who are friends with dangerous animals, and they always like, you shouldn't play with lions, but here's mine, and we're best friends. Suck it. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's silly to me. Like, if you want to do something, you should just do it. I watched a pretty good video today. One of my friends sent it to me, and it was like, why you should just do you know, why it's like why you should do the thing that you want to do today and not wait. And it was like, you're gonna fail at it probably, but the way to achieve it is by I'm like butchering what he said basically, but like more or less one of the things he was getting at was that is that, sorry, I'm blanking on what my point was. Yep, it's gone. Give me a second. Let me think about it. I was trying to talk and think at the same time, and it just wasn't working. It is so gone. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Like, the way to achieve your dream isn't thinking about, like, oh, I need to make, like, this much, or, like, I want to make, you know, so much money. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it wasn't talking about, like, you need to make as much money as possible. It was like, no, you need to make the bare minimum you can make to get your dream going, right? It's like, how much is the bare minimum you can make, even if it's like uncomfortable and whatever. The only way you're gonna get there is like by prioritizing the dream over, like, you know, spending I don't know, I'm butchering how he said it, but it was very interesting. It was like, stop worrying about trying to make, like, you know, $100,000 a year, and like worry about, like, yeah, maybe you only need 15 to survive. You know, I'm not necessarily saying it's like the correct advice, but it was certainly interesting. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. So, no, I get it. It's for sure what I gotta do. Yeah. It also depends on, like, your responsibilities, right? Like, I'm, like, not that old. I'm single, right? I'm not married or anything. I don't have kids. So it really depends on, like, what your life situation is too, but big respect for you putting yourself out there. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. But, like, there's no reason for me not to. I was just, like, working a job, and I was like, you know what? I could sit here and work this job forever. It's not going to pay me anymore. It's not going to get me where I want to be. I may as well just do it, you know? And so I'm doing it. At least attempting to. But yeah, I don't know. Problem with, like, advice like that. It was, I'll put it this way, it was actually really good advice for, like, a lot of those things a lot of time are like, oh, you need to do this and then that will make you a millionaire. It was like, here's what you should do. And it was pretty broadly applicable advice compared to a lot of videos I've seen, but I don't know. It was interesting. Whereas, like, a lot are like, yeah, just follow your dream and you know, do this and you'll make X amount of money, or like whatever. I don't know. But now I'm just rambling. But there's a lot of things where it's like, it's really very specific to the person as whether your life, like, facilitates quitting and doing all that kind of thing. But you're an inspiration to us all. Thank you. I'm trying my best. Hopefully I can achieve victory. I will do my best to not disappoint. But I'm sure failure will be part of it. This game might not be my end-all be-all, you know? I may have to make multiple games or multiple YouTube videos or even just pivot completely. Sorry, have a second. I like how I said this is going to be a short stream and it's probably going to be longer than normal. Let's see here. Let's take, is this just the ground color? I think this is the same color. Yeah, basically. I just want like that, I guess. Sorry if I keep, sorry if I'm keeping just here, keep getting my ass. Just getting ass beaten while Elden Ring while watching. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, I was yeah, no, I mean you're good. I'm just here. I have a friend coming over and I wasn't exactly sure when they were gonna get here, so I'm kind of just working on this while I wait, and if it works, it works, you know. I'll probably just like leave randomly at some point, but hence why every now and then I have to text. Yeah, I never played Elden Ring. Actually, I played it for like 4 seconds, but it seemed cool. Me and my brother have played a lot of Remnant 2, which I know is like similar but different, you know. Same but different, as they say. It's a Souls-like, I guess, is the way it's the same, you know. But I like that. I haven't actually played Elden Ring itself though. Souls-likes are pretty fun though. I think though if I play a Souls-like, my brother has been really adamant about me trying Sekiro, and so that probably would be the one I would play. Just try it's lots of good sources for inspiration. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it seems like a cool game. Yeah, I might try it at some point. I'm honestly not a huge open world game guy though, honestly. I prefer linear experiences for the most part. I think open world is a gimmick that a lot of games use that I just don't enjoy. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me being salty about it. I get it, yeah. I think part of it though is like I play games to relax, and then like having to like know where to go and like feeling like you're missing stuff and that kind of thing is like it's just like too much for me. And I just prefer, yeah, like just a linear experience that's like I really like roguelikes and stuff like that. I use guides to make sure I don't miss shit. Yeah, it's just like I don't want to have to do that. And I guess like part of that is like maybe you should just be okay with missing stuff, right? It's like maybe it should just be like, yeah, I'm gonna miss some things, and that's just it just is what it's gonna be, you know? Maybe that's how I should play those games. I started playing Baldur's Gate the other day with one of my friends, and I was like, I feel like I'm gonna miss all the like, you know, all this stuff. And I'm like, I probably should just not care. And just be okay with missing some things. I think. Nah, that shit bugs me too much. Yeah, I just like, I don't know. At that point, I'm like, what am I doing? You know? Like, I feel like I may as well just be, I don't know. May as well not play it. At that point. But I don't know. Like, it's, yeah, those kind of games just kind of do that to me. It's either I have to like accept that, because like a lot of these games have like such a commitment, right? And it's like, oh, you can do this and get 27 different endings and blah blah blah, and it's like it's like an 80-hour game. Like, I don't want to have to play it 400 times to get all the cool endings, you know? Maybe that's just me, but I would prefer to have like a roguelike game where it lasts for a short amount of time, and if I fail, it wasn't that much of a time investment. Yeah, I missed the Souls game training. This is my first one I played through. Yeah, and like I'm not trying to bash it or anything either. Because yeah, I like Souls likes. But I just feel like the open world aspect of that just feels too well, that's not even really a problem with open world games, I guess. It's more of a problem with I don't know, I feel like there's just like a lot of things that are used as gimmicks in games. Open world being one of them. Like the whole like you can do whatever you want, you have unlimited choices, and there's 27 different endings. Like that's like a different one that I feel like is used as a gimmick, which I don't personally like. I like a crafted experience. And then the other one, speaking of crafting, is crafting. It's the other thing I don't like. Because I love the idea of crafting and making stuff, but crafting hardly ever feels like crafting. It feels like, I don't know. Too many decisions. It can be overwhelming. Yeah, 100%. I probably should make a video on those kind of things someday. Bro, same wavelength. I really should, because like I feel like a lot of people feel that way, but like all these games get like such good recognition for like a lot of the things that they say they're good for, or like that they're like, you know, it's like Elden Ring got like a really good rep for, you know, being open world and stuff like that, and so like Breath of the Wild and that kind of stuff. And it's like I haven't really played them, but like I'm just not someone who cares about the open world thing anymore. It's like it works for some games, it doesn't work for every game. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just being salty, but that's just how I feel, you know? But yeah, I feel like that could be a cool video, just talking about like overrated things in games. I've had a conversation with like my brother like 30,000 times about it. Yeah, open world wouldn't even be on my top 10 things I love about the game, honestly. Yeah, exactly, right? It's just such a gimmick. It's like how like people feel like they have to use like buzzwords, like everyone uses like AI, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, why do you feel like you have to use this term and like put this gimmick in a game? Or, you know, whatever, whatever it is. Just because it worked in Minecraft doesn't mean it needs to be in everything, you know? Or like whatever. Like Minecraft really brought on crafting, right? And like, I don't think any, like, okay, I don't want to say any game, but most games haven't done it better. I know like Tears of the Kingdom was supposed to be really good but that almost felt like, from what I've watched, it seems like it's just like, this is Gary's mod, but in you know, in Zelda. They just took it to another level. Yeah. Like a lot of time crafting is like here's like some stuff and you can just put these things together. It's like there was no creative aspect. It was just purely the grind of getting this gear, like this material together. It feels too much like a chore, exactly. And I think that's like, not just keep bouncing around between like the things, like the things that bother me, but like that's like the part about like open world that bothers me is like, either everything has to scale with you, meaning it didn't matter which way you went and what you got and what you did, or the areas have to be level locked, and at that point it's like, why did you make it open world if I can't actually go anywhere? You know? That's why I stand by one of the, speaking of Zelda, one of the best open world games ever was Wind Waker. Because it's really just like a what's it called? It's like an open world, the game is very good at directing you to the main places. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think yeah, that's one of my favorite Zelda games. Yeah, right? It's so good. Like it's like a Metroidvania, kind of like how they have like, you know, areas like what's it called? Hollow Knight kind of deal, where it's like you have to get certain things to go to different places and that, but it's like it was an open world sailing game. It's like they just did such a good job with it. It might not hold up quite as well as I thought it would. Like there was like certain, because I've been playing it a little bit recently. Not that it's bad, but there's certainly things where I was like, oh, that could have been maybe done a little bit better, but it's still such a solid game. Like there's one time it just like made you go somewhere and then instantly was like, nope, you shouldn't be here. It's like, all right, why'd I travel all the way here? Yeah, overall, great game. How are we liking this this swamp here? This witch's hut. I think it's time for shading. And then I probably, well, I don't know. Yeah, sorry. I find it funny that I said short stream and it's like longer than a normal stream. Maybe that's the funny, maybe that's the bit, right? Maybe that's the funny part. Super short stream, guys. Double the length of a normal one. Do we do like a little pop of color? Do we throw in some lily pad, or not lily pads, but lilies themselves? Just throw a few of those in there. Some little bits of pink. A lot of this I think is gonna have like a dark whatever over it, but ooh, fireflies. I like that. Yeah, it kind of makes it, because this is like a good guy card, it makes it like not too evil looking, even though it's kind of like dreary looking, right? That cozy, creepy aesthetic. Yeah, I do like fireflies. I'm trying to think at what stage to do that. I think I just put them over everything. Let's do it right now, because why not? I'm trying to think how to do it. I think I just do like a little dot, and then we'll come back and we'll... Yeah, fireflies is a great idea. Good call. I think yellow fireflies. I was thinking about maybe doing green, but I think it'll match the like the window there. I think that's maybe the right number of them. And then we'll come back. White dot with a yellow rim. That actually might be better. I did... Here, let's make it so we can change the color if we feel so inclined. Did a yellow dot with a yellow rim, but let's actually put this behind it. There we go. Yeah, you might be right about white dot. Or maybe I should go with the same color. Actually, I probably want to do like a add linear, not add. What is it? Soft light. I think yellow's okay. Like that. That's kind of cozy. I guess we could see what this looks like a little bit lighter. Oops. Maybe like a light yellow instead of a bright one. Yeah, I like the lighter color. Yeah. Okay. Let's just do generic lighting now. Let's start with the house, because that's where all like the light in theory is coming from. Everywhere else is probably dark. I also might put a moon maybe in here. I don't know. Actually, let's throw it in right now. Let's, it'd be like here. I have officially abandoned just labeling my layers, apparently. Like that. Just like a little suggestion of a moon. And then we can add moonlight to everything. Usually I'm pretty good about like at least organizing my layers, but right now I'm just throwing caution to the wind here. Do I even want to do like a blend mode on this? Maybe. It's a little bit nicer looking. We'll just build it up a smidge. It really is amazing what a little bit of lighting can do. I've seen pileups more organized than my layers. That's fair. Same. Sometimes that it do be like that, you know? Oop, God. I want this to also be, I think, soft light. Yeah, just a nice cozy glow coming from the yeah. I should save. I have saved. We're good. Okay, now we need shading. We'll do like a dark blue, change it to multiply. Just kind of really get in there. Let's have some fun in the space. Actually, you know what I might do? Call me crazy. I'm going to, instead of, I'm gonna literally, I'm gonna fill everything. And then we're gonna change it to multiply. Maybe this is a bad idea. Let's just see if this is a bad idea. Let's play around and see if it's a bad idea. And rather than brushing, we're gonna erase. Can I suggest? Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I'm thinking erasing here rather than and I might go in and do some more detailed shadows. Light from the windows looks like a little much softer glow is nicer. Okay, yeah. I'll take a look at that. Hello, now you add shadows, yeah. I could probably tone it down, like tone this light down and then make just a glow, like maybe kind of split the difference. Might be cool. Looks better, yeah. Maybe I'll split the difference, see how it looks. Because I could, in theory, yeah, just shape it like the window bit. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I guess it would probably have... Well, I could do this, right? I could... Well, that didn't work so well. Do that a little bit. And then what I could do, honestly, is just tone it down a bit. And then bring the sort of glow back from the windows. So we kind of have... Sorry, give it a second. I'm trying to think what layer style I want to do. I'm gonna add. Oh yeah, now you're cooking. Yeah, so like 50-50. I don't know if screen's the right add or blend mode here, but maybe linear. Maybe something like that. I almost feel like the whole background needs to just be darker. Which I think I'm just going to give the same treatment as I gave to the foreground. And that's just do this and multiply. Oh wait, just go above the trees. Look at that. Easy peasy. And then that might not quite be the right color. Hold on. Okay. And we'll have like the little fireflies lighting stuff up. And then I love how quickly stuff comes together sometimes. Needs to be above this, I think. Well, that's actually the other spot I need to erase from here. It's up by the moon. I need to just add some like variation into the background here, and then I think I might be close to just being happy with it. Just grabbing a bunch of different colors and swishing them around here. Oh wait, this is on the wrong. Is that on the wrong layer? No, it's fine. Not sure how I feel about that. And I think the last thing to add is just some fog in the background here. maybe? And then I really probably should go. It's something like an added touch here is just tint the fog blue on top. And then maybe, just maybe, a smidge of fog up here. Oh, and I did want this little smokestack to have some smoke coming out of it. Okay, what do we think? Good, bad, ugly? I think it worked. Oh wait, actually I forgot to, this foreground tree I forgot to actually do anything with. Needs a little bit of shadow. Yep, I have abandoned all layers. It's fine. Let's just rename this one Shadows. Looking good? Okay, cool. I'm glad. Very atmospheric. Yeah, honestly, it kind of turned much more atmospheric than I was expecting. A little bit of light on this, but not too much to distract your eye from the cabin. All right, I think anything else might be too much. I don't know. I say that as I continue to work. I do that a lot. I'm like, yeah, this is good, and then I just keep working. Once you're on the flow, you cannot be stopped. Exactly. Very true. The old flow state. Okay. I think that's good. Save it. Export it. And then I gotta be done. I need like... I just need to be done, you know? It was fun, though. Got a good amount done. Talked about some of the old GOG cards that we might make, and then did this. Hung out, talk about a game jam thing. Maybe sort of complained, I don't know. Yeah, looks fun. Sometimes I wonder if, like, I overdo it and if, like, the style feels like it's changing, but, like, it still feels like the style. It's just, like, like the lighting is just like so different that it almost feels like it's not the same style. I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. I feel like maybe I over render sometimes, but I don't know, whatever. It's fun and I like it. And here we are. I always can kind of like render the old art more, but I would implement this, but I really should be done. So anyway, yeah, anyway, Aiden, thank you for hanging out. And if anyone's lurking, thank you for hanging out as well. And I should be back on Monday, I believe. There's a chance maybe I might be busy, but I think for the most part I should be free. So yeah, early Monday as per usual, and then yeah, I think that's it. So I will, no worries, brother, have a good one. Yeah, you too. Yeah, I'm sure I'll see you later. We'll we'll probably do, I think it's just gonna be keep doing art until I get the rule book done, and then we can just publish the next version of the game, and then maybe do some play testing and stuff. But yeah, anyway, thanks for joining. Y'all have a good one, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.